I have a character, a laptop, music, and sound effects ready. With these ingredients, I can create a simple gamified slide without overcomplicating resources or spending too much time. Since I already built a version earlier, I'll first show you the final result, then take you behind the scenes in Storyline to show how it's designed. So, my thinking was to create this character called Mike, a sneaky, mischievous hackster who just broke into your system. He's covered his tracks, scattered a bunch of clues, and disappeared into the code. Now it's up to you, the coding genius, to trace his moves and shut him down. That's my game logic here. But I'm sure you can still use this for other cool scenario-based activities in your e-learning. This is a free template for you to use, though some items may be watermarked or removed due to copyright restrictions. But the core build, however, is all yours. So in Storyline, this is just one simple scene, is how I set it up. I'm gonna open this. Cool. Let me show you around. This sneaky walk was done in After Effects, but you could create your own version in Vyond and replace it here. Then these binary numbers use a simple wipe effect that kind of mimics a typewriter effect. But I also have another real typewriter effect, but done with JavaScript, that I'll show you shortly. So that's the intro. After that, we move into the second main scene, which includes the usual mix of graphics, text, and images. As I always say, motion is life, so I've animated this character and rendered it out as an APNG. These dots are also animated. In fact, they dance to the music track to add some extra motion and energy. Then, here, I've added a sleek 3D laptop that opens up like a portal to the adventure experience. And on the screen is this classic typing effect, powered by JavaScript, along with a small animated Enter button that really ties the laptop into the interactive portal concept. You can even use the keyboard to trigger other adventurous or experimental events, kind of making the whole setup more dynamic and engaging. Now, to wrap up, let me show you this JavaScript code that triggers the typing effect. Obviously, others in the Articulate community have done similar things, but I haven't looked at their code, so I'll just speak to my version here. It might be similar, I don't know. First thing you notice is that I timed it to start at about 10 seconds, so that the intro plays, laptop slides into place, then the typing begins. Now, let's get in here. First, it starts by picking up the player that lets it talk to your web page or app, so it can show the text on your screen. Then, it sets up the message. Mike has just breached the system. He's masked his tracks, etc., and types at 100 milliseconds per character. That's, 0.1 seconds per letter. And the cool thing is that you play around with these numbers and change this speed. So if you lower the number, like to 50, you make it type faster, or raise it, like to 200, to make it type slower. Up to you, really. Okay, moving on. Now the main part, the typewriter effect. There's a process going on here that runs over and over to show one character at a time. It checks if there are still characters left to type. There are 52 characters in my message, so it keeps going until it's done. So each time it runs, it takes the message from the start, up to the current character, and displays it. So first you see M, then MI, then MIK, and so on. After showing a character, it moves the counter to the next one, right? Then waits for 100 milliseconds and then repeats the process for the next letter, and that's about it. Finally, this line kicks off the entire process by calling the typewriter function for the first time. In other words, the script just needs a small nudge to get everything started, and that's when the typewriter effect begins. This approach gives you more control and precision, since the text appears one letter at a time. I think it does a better job of building suspense as the message unfolds. Much better than a basic wipe effect, which just transitions everything at once, like the binary numbers you saw at the beginning of my intro slide. So go test for yourself, download the template from our freebies section, and have fun. And as always, hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate your support. Also, while you are there on the site, just go ahead and subscribe to our newsletter right on the homepage. You'll get access to exclusive tips and tricks we don't usually share on YouTube. Until next time, take care. I'm out.